Good evening. Come on, we're home. We're home. We are home. Welcome to home. I don't want the light from the outside to shine in here. Hey, hey, hey. Look at these wonderful balloons from Anna Roman. I got a nice surprise thanking me for 30 days of So Detox. Can you see them? And she sent over a nice edible arrangement platter, and Peyton and I went head first into it. I had fell asleep today. I was so exhausted for some reason, and Peyton woke me up with this beautiful surprise. And how many know that I wasn't tired anymore and I started eating right away? Very sweet. Yes, Chris, she's very sweet. That was nice of her. So thoughtful. Maybe that's a display of empathy, huh? Well, evening, family. There's 76 of you on. Sorry, I was a little late tonight. It was my first time the whole time I was on, and that's a good thing. My husband complimented my hair so much last night. I guess I took a little extra time in hair and makeup today. I want to say hello and whoop whoop back to you, Cam Jackson, for night 29. I want to say hello to Rafael Sanchez, Jason, John Booker, Tasha Ross, Prudence Gilbert. Hello, Carmen Figueroa, Carmen Sanchez, Dolores Davis, Darlene Henry, Brittany Lamb. Hello, good evening to Rochelle Graham, Robert Taylor. Good to see you. Said he wasn't on last night, but he caught up on the replay and put the comments in on YouTube. Now that's handling your business. Hello, Diana Santos, Leah Shaw. Good evening, Nubian Queen, who is the beautiful, illustrious wife of Senor Robert Taylor. So good to have you all on this year with me. Manuel Davis, good evening. Rosalie Smith, Dominique, Noemi, good evening. Lasonia, hello. Dawson Adult Care Services, Lydia Cordova, hello. Hello, Darlene Henry. Good evening, Nanita, Audrey Holly. Hello, Rhonda Johnson. Hello, Carmen Crespo, Renee Holly, Nanita, my solutionist secretary, Ebony. Hello, Rodney McCleary. I'm so glad to have you with us as well. Crystal Adgers. Hello, Cynthia Bazin. Good evening, Tony Cranford. And I believe my son, Derek Cranford, is probably ear hustling there in the background. I read your post today and I'm so proud of you. Hello, Danielle. Hello, good evening, Daniel Woodard. Good evening, Mike Rose. Special. Hello, Agent Pamela. Great to see you on. I hope I get to talk to you sometime this year. Good evening, Gwen Molden, Karen Jamison. Hello, Cora Horn. Good evening, Renee Holly, Carolyn Booker. Hello, Richard. Hello, Audra Fisher. Hello, Donna Griffiths. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see everyone on. Good evening, Norina, Renee Holly. Hello, Joy Nolan. Good evening, Latoya, Patricia Wilson, Gwen Molden. Here we go. That's right, Robert Taylor. Renee Walton. Good evening, Alitza. Hello, Bianca Cruz, Prudence. Cheryl Johnson. Good evening, Ron Bonner. Hello, Candy Oates. Good evening, Nubian Queen TV. I see that. Ashley Otero, hello. Constance Harmon, Yolanda Dawson, Lisa Palmer. Good evening, Christopher Dean. Sounds like Superman's name. I like that. Hello, Kareem Bowling. Good evening, Vanessa Bowling. At these married folks in here together. Edith Sylvia, hello. I love you, my dear. Anna Roman, hello. Hello, Nicole Coleman. I see you, Ashley Otero, Carolyn Booker. I see you, and I see you. I see y'all coming in. We're up to 87. Come on in. The table is already spread and the feast is going on. I've been waiting for you. Hello. Hello. I got a bonus tonight for you. This bonus night is on behalf of the sponsorship of Karen Jamison. She mentioned a bonus night, so this is going to be a bonus night. Just hanging with me. You'll see where we're going. Hello, Joanne Fisher. Hello, Carmen Figueroa. Leah Shaw. Hello. Absolutely. Mariah Lopez, good evening, family. Rosa Lee, thank you. Nanita, I see you. Jerry Towns, hello. Juanita Furlow, blessings. Hello, Rosalind Grant Fuller. Erica Kimber, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Damien. I see you. Yvonne Riles, hello and good evening to you. Yvonne Rodriguez, good evening. I see you, Thomasina. I see you, Chevelle. All right. Looks like we're making our way down the line here to the attendance. We have 90 people in on all platforms. Hello to Rhonda Johnson. Carmen Figueroa, hello to you. Good evening, Bernard from Mississippi. Bernard from Mississippi. Raphael said, let's get this party started. We are with you, sir. All right. How can it be a bonus night when the series hasn't ended? Well, because I could have just did some coaching benefits tonight and then ended on chapter 10, which we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to end on chapter 10 tomorrow. I see you, R. Cherie. But instead, I was rereading, trying to figure out what I wanted to do some takeaways from all of the chapters. And I wanted to hit some in particular. But I had gotten an email and someone was asking me questions. And it really provoked what I was reading today in chapter 2. Well, before we jump to that, let me just go ahead and thank everyone for the immense love shown to Ebony in the Cash App last night. God bless you all. Wow, wow, wow. The appreciation and the love for what we do here and not finding it as a problem to bless Ebony was a beautiful thing last night. Just wonderful how everyone gave. And we're going to do great things for the remainder of this year. So thank you all for everyone that gave. It was just beautiful. And also to me, some said, this part is for Ebony, this part is for you. So it was just beautiful to see the love, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I want to thank those who have been commenting on YouTube. Oh my God. Let me tell you about YouTube. Can I tell you about YouTube? Let me tell you about YouTube. Not only did we hit our number for YouTube, wow. Not only did I hit the mark for where we needed in YouTube, I hit the second mark in YouTube. The second mark in YouTube, where they actually have made you a monetization partner, where you get to show off these commercials for them, and you get paid for the commercials, even if no one buys anything from the commercial. It's amazing how it works. It's just how many viewers you have at the time. So that's a benefit. And also, because we hit the mark, what did hair and makeup do to me here? That's driving me crazy. And even because we hit the mark and we hit the second mark is that I'm able to have a YouTube subscription membership. And you will see it when you go on. I don't know if you all are able to see it tonight on YouTube. It may not have taken effect yet because I had to fill out forms and give tax ID information and the business federal ID number. But they also have stars that you will be able to give and all that stuff. So that's on there. I don't know if it's taken effect yet, but you will see it when we come back on again throughout the rest of this year in our remaining lifelong journey, because this is a destination and not a trip, right? And also with the membership program, I'm able to give you, the members, particular workshops and webinars and trainings. I'm able to bring in guests, and it's only for the members only. So because you subscribe as a member, you will be entitled to certain things that just regular viewers will not be entitled to. And I noticed that they set the membership for, there's a awakening membership level. That's the beginning. It's $2.99 a month, $2.99 a month. And then there's a transformative membership level. That's the middle level. And that's, I think, $16.99 a month. And then there's the enlightenment member. That's the one who's totally on task and moving forward 99% of the time in their personal development and mental health, and that's the enlightenment member, and I believe that's 24 or 25.99 a month. And when you subscribe as one of those members, you will have access to videos and trainings, even becoming a life coach yourself. By having those memberships, you'll be able to get worksheets that other people will have to pay for. um, with the membership levels, you will see exactly what you get, but there'll be discounts on the t-shirts and the materials that come out, the books that come out every year. um, there's discounts for retreats that we book. Oh, look at that, Ebony showing off. There's discounts for even the retreats that we book. So when we come on, we have to agree with YouTube that we will let our members know first about everything that we have coming up, and that they have first option to our training materials, our books, retreats, conferences, podcasts, because there's two podcasters that I've been talking to. One of them was the gentleman who published my first three books, and he has been diagnosed with bipolarism, and it affected his entire life. And he's regained himself, and he's a publisher now, and he's written his book on bipolarism. And we're going to bring him on here, and we're going to have a talk with him. And I think what I may do in this instance, just giving you an early example right now, is have him on for those who subscribe to the YouTube membership. You will be on with him. You can ask questions with him, have dialogue with him, and then we will go ahead and make it public, maybe days or a week later, for everyone else to watch it as if it's live to them. But we will have already done this a week ago, because you are a subscribing member on YouTube. How does that sound? Wow. Thank you, Denise, for $9.99, Ashley for $99, Ebony for $20. Thank you guys so much. I think you're just having fun with it right now. Look at Cheryl Johnson, $1.99. You guys are dope. So, and the other person I want to have on, I want to have couples night often. I want to have couples night, and we're going to have some in-person things, but we're also going to have live for those who are not around. And when I say around, I mean locally. And I have a woman who writes a blog every week. Her name is Dorothy. She is a retired gynecologist, and she's now doing marriage counseling. And she speaks to both men and women, and she handles the marriage issue so delicately, but she goes right to the soul of the matters. And it's just like a surgeon. She's so gentle, and she's so just so feminine in how she deals with it. And when I use the word feminine, I'm just trying to stick with the femininity of a woman, that she doesn't have to use her masculine side to connect with the men. It's a powerful, powerful. So we're going to have these podcasts coming up. And I think since YouTube hooked us up this way, this is going to be, members are going to get the first privilege to these lives. And then we're going to post it as if it just happened to everyone else who's not a member. What do y'all think about that? Thank you, Mike Rose. He sent $4.99. Thank you so much. Y'all are just showing off. Nurturing. That's a good word too. So we've got some great, great things coming up this year. And when you click the different membership levels, you'll see what's available in each one. And from time to time, I may add some additional perks as this unfolds and evolves for us. Thank you, Brittany Lamb, for $9.99. You guys, man, amazing. So you guys, we did it. We did it because of you. John Booker said $9.99. We stand with you. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah, it's a benefit for singles to hear from couples. Absolutely. We've got a lot coming up this year. And I did want to talk to a few of you who are not attending church and who are not local, and you're looking for an apostolic church. You're looking for a spiritual covering. You're looking for mentorship. I want to talk to you about that. If you feel that that's you and you're not heading into a local church anywhere, you don't have a pastor, I want to talk to you, because I believe this is a great opportunity for us to set up something to have online services. I got a message, and it was so sweet, on the chat last night from Sandra Redding. Matter of fact, I think it was in the Cash App. And she said, "Thank you for service tonight." She said, "Thank you for service tonight." And it just broadened what I had already spoke to my elders about last year, are for those who are not local, but they really want to be a part of an apostolic church, and they're already doing this work with me. So there's a level of trust already there. And I think we can continue to build on that if we can have an open house meeting online and figure out exactly what it is that you need and how I can be a guide in your life to get you to the place that God has called you to minister to his people, to the world, to the globe, whatever it is. Amen. So if you are interested in that, there's a few of you I may reach out to myself, but if you're interested in that, please send an email in. You can send it into Ebony, and she gets all the information over to me. And I would love to talk to you about having online service with you. We'd have a weekly Bible study. We'd have a weekly service. And I think it would be very empowering and enriching. And it will be what you need if you can't get into a building and you don't currently have a pastor. So I see my husband probably doesn't know how to work the YouTube thing. So he said $9.99. So he's going to definitely send it because that's what he does. Apostle YouTube #1. Come on, Raphael. So we've done great. I couldn't have done it without you. I couldn't have done it without you. Angela Blake said yes. Digital discipleship. Digital discipleship. So I want to talk to you. If you're interested, please email us. I want to have a conversation with you. So thank you for the cash apps. I blessed Ebony on last night, and I'm going to have a dinner with her and the coaches, Coach Maria. Can we give some hands of praise to Coach Maria? Yes, Brittany in Georgia. Let's get it hooked up. Coach Lisa or Elitza, if some of you may know her. Hands of praise to Coach Lisa. I'm getting great reports on their coaching. Um, Coach Latanya, I just want to thank her. She's been triumphant in battling her health issues this year, and she's conquered it. And to God be the glory, she jumped right in and started coaching this year for Soul Detox 2024. That's my DNA. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get the job done. So let's give some hands of praise to our coaches. And I'm going to take them out to dinner this February. We're going to celebrate, and Ebony's going to make sure that it happens. Last year, we had a few snowstorms. I think one or all of us got sick a couple of times, and next thing you know, my schedule does what it does, and here we are to the next year again. So excuses don't work. So I want to thank you. I see this stuff is popping up here pretty fast on me. And I don't want to forget you, Leah Shaw. Thank you for a super sticker, $4.99. And thank you for, where'd it go? I know I saw it too. Lydia Cordova for a super sticker for $9.99. I don't even know what any of this means, but I promise you I'm going to study it. But I appreciate the fact that y'all are giving. And find a membership that you can afford, and find a membership that you will use to benefit your life. Because this is another way to give you access to the coaches in a group therapy session that maybe you're not ready to dive in on the one-on-one yet. Amen. Yes, they did an excellent job. So, and when we go out to dinner, we'll record, part of it for you guys, so you could be in on the dinner with us and just see how I care to celebrate my staff, especially a staff of volunteers. Come on, to God be the glory. So thank you guys so much. I couldn't have done it without you, and I know that. I don't sit here and say because of I did this, because I've done that. I may have been the hand, but if you guys didn't put yourselves in my hand to do this work with you, it would be nothing. It took both of us, a collaboration. Thank you, Audra Fisher, for her $10 YouTube star, I guess it's called. Thank you very much. Awesome. Carmen Crespo's ready to dive in. Thank you. Thank you to Robert Taylor. I saw he made a post on YouTube. This one here I want to read. And since she put her name on it on YouTube, I feel comfortable enough reading this here to everyone else because she used her name. Soul Detox 2024. My mental health coach. And she did hashtags. That's a blessing. Hashtag emotional intelligence matters. Hashtag Soul Detox 2024. Hashtag Suzanne M. Howard, mental health coach. Emotional intelligence is a great skill and a tool for me. I cannot believe how impactful my sessions have been. One session has had more immediate benefits on my well-being and self-regulation than a month's work of weekly talk therapy sessions. Being guided through Taking a good look at my emotional deficiencies with empathy and compassion without judgment has helped me address my unresolved trauma without feeling guilt or shame. Emotional intelligence has been incredibly efficient and one of the most powerful trainings I have had access to during my healing journey. Without I felt stuck in quicksand, unable to move forward or backwards, kind of like trying to navigate a maze blindfolded. This training program helped in so many ways, but most of all, it took the shame, ooh, glory, off of my ignorance and armed me with the exact tools I was missing. Rosa Lee Smith. Thank you, Rosa Lee Smith, for such a beautiful, beautiful statement on YouTube yesterday late at night. I appreciate you, and I thank everything we do on here. Remember, giving isn't always in money. Liking, sharing, commenting, replays, and just that little bit of time. Look what we've done this year. I've been plowing this ground for 8 years, and this year it's like we struck the gold. So thank you. We have levels to go, but we have made a tremendous impact, and I thank you for it. Thank you, Rochelle Graham, for a $10 super sticker. And thank you, Gwyneth Douglas, for a $2 super sticker. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's not the dollar amount. Please don't feel bad if you cannot give. There's so many things that you can do so that this work can be a success. Because just as Rosa Lee Smith has stated how it's helped her, imagine how many women, how many men, how many married couples, how many young adults are sitting in their house, depressed, oppressed, sad, being defeated, feeling beat up every day, not seeing the abundance in their relationships, losing in opportunities and promotions in the workplace, not able to regulate their emotions, so they're losing hope. And when this shows up on their page, it's because of the work that you all have done to make this happen, that we're going to go and we're going to reach more and more and more for the glory of God. So thank you. Thank you. If I haven't said it enough, please hear it 100 times more. The old church mothers would say, how was it go? If I had 10,000 tongues, I couldn't praise him enough. If I had 100,000 tongues, I couldn't thank you enough. So please even hear the more of what I may not be sending. Thank you, Renee Holly. She said she sent in a $10 cash app. Thank you, sister, so much. All right. So please make sure that your final assessments are in. Please make sure that your Amazon book review is done and your Goodreads book review is done, because tomorrow, after tonight, it's already too late. Tomorrow, I'm going in and I'm going to do the drawing, and we're going to draw the one who received a year worth of life coaching and the one who has received a free ticket to my mentoring that starts March 4th. So if you didn't do it, we've announced it many of times, and we've got to learn how to move. Remember, being people of order, we have to learn how to move and make these things happen. So please get on board with it. Remember that our singles is having a nice Valentine's Day dinner on February 16th. You can email Ebony to find out anything you don't know, anything you need to know, and anything you got questions about, and anything you don't even know about. Just reach out to Ebony. She has all the solutions. Put the pressure on her. She can handle it. She's good. Tomorrow night, I will also send out those who are interested in coaching. Let me see how many think that you're going to get involved in coaching this year. Let me see that. Thank you, John Booker. He said, I need to win. Yes, John, I love to hear that. Come on. How many believe, Evan, you can put up the flyers that you were getting ready to show. You can show them while we're talking. I'll look at the chat. Did you do it already? Did I miss it? You did 2 of them? Okay. So let's see how many people are going to sign up this year. Good. Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Because I want to share a little secret with you. The more that sign up through this program of Soul Detox, the better price we can give you. I mean, I would give it away for free if there was a grant that I could get and not have to charge anyone else for the time and the labor, the material, the education. You know, we have to make sure we stay on top of training, the laws for Connecticut. We have to pay for everything. So we just have to, forward those expenses over. So you don't get nothing for nothing, right? Or you get nothing for nothing. Yeah. So we thank you for 45 book reviews on Amazon and 10 more subscribers on YouTube. You guys are amazing. Yes, I want to. I would love to. Yeah, it makes a difference. And for those who signed up for the life coaching just for this month, for this mentorship program, this soul detox program, do you understand that we dropped an entire digit for you? What you got this month cost $300. And that's still a defeated price. Trust me, from what I know coaching costs. You guys got a great deal. So for those that jumped on, you know how to see a great deal and you jumped on for an amazing opportunity. Just think about it. What you paid this month dropped an entire digit off of it. Where will you see those numbers at again? Oh, thank you, Lisa Palmer. Amen. Amen. Absolutely. So there's 100 of you on tonight. Welcome on to Soul Detox 2024. We are on our 29th night. And before we wrap it up for tomorrow's session, I do want to just go from the book, if we will. And I want to look at page. That's not the one. I want to go back a little bit because I wrote all over it. Yes. I want to look at page 19. Page 19. And page 19 is one of the most eye-opening appetizers to this book that I believe I could have given you. And can we put the cash up on the screen? And it's pivotal because it explains, how did I get here? How did I end up here? Why do I have these holes in my soul? How do I have these blank spots in my life? How did I not learn about emotion and emotional control and self-awareness and self-regulation? Why are my relationships always in turmoil or trouble? Why am I always sought for promotion but never given the promotion? How did I get here? Like, I did everything right. I love the Lord. I serve the Lord. I go to church. I'm nice to people. People can even walk on me. I've been abandoned, misunderstood, rejected, called everything but a child of God. And I don't understand why I'm here. How did I get here? Why am I still here? And page 19 answered that. And it answered it by saying, these are some of the contributors that led to low emotional intelligence. And the first one was childhood and upbringing. The environment in which a person grows up plays a significant role, right? Remember, we talked about attachment theory for this part. Lack of emotional nurturing, guidance, or modeling during childhood could have led to an underdeveloped EI. Children who grew up in environments where emotions were not openly discussed or valued may struggle to develop these skills into adulthood. Then there was the second part, education and learning experiences. This I want to get into the school system. Traditional education systems often focus more on academic skills and less on emotional learning or social skills. This lack of emphasis can lead to underdeveloped emotional competencies, if that's not 100% fact. And then we hit number 3, trauma and negative experiences. Traumatic experiences, especially during formative years, can impact emotional development. People who have experienced trauma might find it hard to process and express emotions healthily. Now, it goes on, of course, you'll see it goes on all the way to top of page 21. But where I want to go is with an email that I had gotten from a young man. And I've known him almost all of his life. He comes and goes from church from time to time, but he always stays in contact with me no matter what. And I want to talk on how he shared today something that he's been battling all of his life. He has multiple baby mamas. He still has it's better, he said, as he's gotten older, but he has a strange a strained relationship with his mom, and he doesn't understand what is the disconnect between him and his mom. He did share that later on in life, um, it was made clear to him who his father was. He didn't know who his father was most of his life growing up. His mother would not share it, would not discuss it with him, did not feel it was an important part of his life. You have me, and we're going to do this together, and we're not going to worry about him. Can somebody say trauma? Now, he didn't recognize it as trauma because he thought a trauma was something that physically happened to his body, or something such as a physical accident, something such as rape or molestation, because he immediately said to me, I wasn't raped. I wasn't molested. My mom never beat us. We never went without food. I don't understand what is the problem. I'm not satisfied with one woman. I have such anxiety. I can't sit still. And with this anxiety, I'm smoking more and more marijuana. And just learning recently, he shared that marijuana actually causes anxiety. So he smokes marijuana to get rid of his anxiety. And then when the marijuana begins to wear off, it triggers anxiety. So he's been studying. I can tell by our talk that he's been studying and he's been searching, and he really wants to figure out the whys and the how to's to his life. So as we begin to discuss, he began to share with me this issue of not knowing who his father was. And he impressed upon the fact that a couple of times in his life, his mom told him that different people was his father, and later on only to take it back and say that she never said it or that wasn't the truth. So she may not know who it is, and this is why he seems to feel as though he's being yanked around emotionally by mom. But I tried to spend as much time as I could with him explaining that that's trauma. But he still has an idea in his mind as trauma being something from the war, something from a head trauma, or something such as rape and things of those matters. He could not understand that trauma is totally, whether it's a um, physical accident, or whether it was something traumatic as rape or anything along those lines. The bottom line is trauma is emotional. It's emotional because even though the terrible car accident may have caused a trauma to your head, the issue becomes the memory of the issue from your head, or what it has done to your memory. What mother has done to you or not offered you for an explanation is a memory. So what trauma really is really based and centered and core on the memory. So I think I got his attention today. He sounds really interested in finding out more. He's the type that when you share stuff with him, he's got to go and research it and come back. Because one of the trauma responses, one of the mental health challenges that he has in his life, and you may too, if this story pertains to you in any similar way, your story may not be identical, but your story may be similar to his, is trust issues. Trust issues. And they could never go away. You can live your entire life with trust issues and not even recognize that the way you are responding to things or how you are treating people or your lack of commitment to things is entirely because you have trust issues. And I'm going to get into it, but let me break it down this way. He felt anger towards his dad for not showing up. He voiced that. He's expressed that because even if my mom is joking me around, he knew he slept with her. He knows I look like him. He went on and on and on. There's more to it, but I'm not going to share all of that. But what he doesn't understand is the real anger he has is not even with the man who would not show up in his life. His real anger is with his mom. And I could not get him to understand that or accept that today. He could not accept. My mother worked hard. She raised me and my brothers and sisters, and their fathers was there and their father was in the house. Mine was the only one that wasn't in the house. And I don't understand, how I could have issue with my mom. My mom did everything she could for me. She loved me. He went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I'm sitting there saying, I hear you. I validate where you are right now in your level of self-awareness. But I'm telling you from a professional level, your issues with mom. And I'm going to tell you why. Let me indulge you a little bit here. When anyone discovers that a parent in the household is not their biological parent, or their biological parent is not present in the household that they are being raised in, it combines with the knowledge of rejection and abandonment by their biological parent. And it can have a profound psychological effects on a child. These effects can vary widely depending on the child's age at the time of discovery, the manner in which the information is revealed, the existing relationship with the non biological parent, and the support system in place. Some of the psychological aspects and potential impacts for this study includes number one, identity crisis. Identity crisis. Learning such information, learning such significant information about one's origins leads to identity crisis. This is your origin. This is the tree. This is the field you came from. And you mean to tell me there's a missing person here? And there's a story that someone here with me every day is holding back from me? This causes identity crisis. The child might question who they are, where they belong, and what other truths about their life might be in question. And this is what we grow into. We grow with this. This person will grow if they don't get help early enough in life and consistent help as they develop through different age of life stages. They have an issue with fitting in where they belong. They may feel a struggle to move forward with things in life. They may stay in bad or toxic or empty places in life because they have an issue with making changes because they have an identity crisis. They question where they belong. They question what other truths about their life might be in question. So there's where the issue with mom begins. Because if mom withheld that from me, if mom continually withholds that from me, what other truths about my life might she be withholding? So automatically, this raises the next part of their mental health challenge, self doubt. You're going to be confused with whether you love your first baby mother, your second baby mother, or your third baby mother because there's so much self doubt in you. There's trust issues because the person who you believe raised you and loved you, and he totally believes it in his conscious mind, but subconsciously, which he's turned off, he hasn't tapped into, if he took the time and thought about it, his issues with her because she's still withholding the information and she has affected the origins of his identity. Number two, because one parent is not there automatically, it's abandonment issues. Now, he said with his other siblings, their father is in the house and in the family, and he has no problems with him at all. He's good to him. There's no abuse story or anything, but he's still abandoned. He's abandoned because he looks at these other siblings and he sees their father is present. Why is it mine? Why isn't my father here? And then listen, this is the part he doesn't get yet. On top of it, he has abandonment issues from his mother because she's abandoning him by not setting him free with the origins of his identity. So it's not just with mom, abandonment issues. Knowing that their biological parent chose to abandon them can instill a fear of abandonment. So, as an adult, you may struggle with the fear of abandonment. And I can talk with you and work with you and tell you what that looks like in your adult life, which will affect their ability to form secure attachments in relationships. Secure attachments in their relationships. They might constantly fear that others will leave them too and will struggle significantly during deaths. Number four, this upbringing that affected your origins has a 100% impact on your self esteem and worthiness issues. The rejection by a biological parent can significantly impact a child's self esteem. They internalize the abandonment and rejection, leading to feelings of unworthiness and questioning their value. If your story is similar to this and you're saying, but this isn't me, but it is you, there's no way to get around it. See, often we try to deflect or block out or suppress or repress emotions and feelings and thoughts. And we think that we're okay. But I'm telling you, if you do the Family 360 assessment, you will find out that there is anger and resentment sitting inside of you that has affected your self esteem and your worthiness. There's no way around it, Coach Latanya. That's right. Because it's your human person that is processing this, whether you recognize it or not. Remember, it's not that the therapist is wrong. It's not that the counselor is wrong. It's not that the coach is wrong. You lack self-awareness, self-esteem, and worthiness because it affected you in your origins. There is an identity crisis that you are dealing with your entire life. And you may not show up as others with the feelings of abandonment and rejection because you internalize yours more, but it's also leading you to an unworthiness and questioning of your value. You will have anger and resentment issues. Anger and resentment issues. That child will experience intense anger and resentment towards the biological parent for abandoning them and for the natural parent for not making things clear to them, towards both parents who raised them for keeping the truth hidden, and even towards themselves as they grapple with complex emotions. This person will probably have a long legal history or domestic history of anger and abuse in their relationships. If not, they will have turned the anger to a passive aggressive adult personality trait in order to fit in most crowds, into society, and the workplace. Number 6, depression and anxiety. The stress and emotional turmoil stemming from such a discovery can lead to depression and anxiety. The child might struggle with persistent sadness, worry, and uncertainty about their place in the family. And as they grow with this, they will have a place of uncertainty with their place in the world. Number 7, grief and loss. You want to know how long it takes someone to grieve? Listen to this. There can be a profound sense of grief for the loss of a biological connection they thought they had, as well as for the idealized image of the biological parent they may have had. This will lead to long-term grieving. Thus, number 6, about the depression and anxiety. They are grieving the story. They are grieving the abandonment. They are grieving the loss of the biological connection, even if they are not aware of it. Number 8, in order to survive all of this without therapy, they will develop coping mechanisms. Children will develop various coping mechanisms, some of which could be unhealthy. Those are called what? Maladaptive. Unhealthy coping mechanisms are maladaptive coping mechanisms. So they will develop coping mechanisms, some of which could be unhealthy, such as a withdrawal from social interactions, aggression, substance abuse, or overly pleasing behaviors to avoid further abandonment from others. Did you hear that? Overly pleasing behaviors to avoid further abandonment. It is crucial for children facing such revelations into adulthood to receive appropriate support, which may include therapy or counseling, and even by a guided, trained professional mental health life coach to process these complex emotions and to navigate the challenges of redefining family bonds and personal identity. Open, honest and supportive communication within the family, along with professional guidance, can aid in the healing process and help the child, even into adulthood, build the resilience they need to live a healthy and fulfilling life. Now, this may not be your story, but of the 99 of you that are still in here, can anyone connect with this story in any way? Let's end the night on discussing this part right here, because this is important, as most people do not realize they've had trauma. I didn't realize that I had trauma. I didn't think I was raised in a two-parent household, had a wonderful relationship with my father. My mother was the dismissive attachment style, but we had sisters. I thought we were healthy. I mean, we've had issues for sure. I was never quiet on those, but I never considered us to be or me to have trauma. Let me explain to you what trauma is that's often overlooked. Trauma that we overlook. Nope, I had a good household. I don't have any trauma. Trauma, bullying. How many of you were bullied for more than a school year? And it didn't even have to be, it could have been one traumatic time on the field. It could have been sexual bullying. It could have been something that they did to you, intimidation bullying. It's trauma. It doesn't matter to you. Well, it was in the sixth grade. I'm over it. No, it's your psyche has it now. And it's showing up with some sort of coping mechanism for you to try to have some normalcy to your life, try to feel as though you're fitting in your life, because you don't know where it's coming from. You don't even know that's trauma. Bullying, children of divorce, that's trauma. This is where our black, our Hispanic, our Latino cultures, this is where we kind of veer off from a lot of our Caucasian brothers and sisters, because maybe more in the earlier years than it is now, or maybe in reverse. I think more now people are seeking more therapy now, but Caucasians will take their children to therapy when they're going through divorce. We go through divorce, we go through abortion, we go through child loss, we go through stillborn, we go through the bullying part with no therapy, no counseling. And we're basically told to get over it. Time will heal you. This is trauma. Time doesn't heal trauma. It puts it in a different compartment in your brain, and your brain will begin to give you some coping mechanisms to deal with it, as they're telling you to do. Bullying is trauma. If you've had this, you have trauma. If you've been through the divorce or your parents were never together. How about, I see this so much now, a woman is pregnant, and while she's pregnant, the relationship is over. The father is gone for whatever reason, and the child will be born with no father in the labor and delivery room, no father to hold him and give him oxytocin when he's born, no father to get up at night to help change the pampers, to bring the bottles to the baby, to burp the baby, no father. For whatever reason, we're not dealing with the stigma against men or women or relationship. We're just talking about the child of this product. Wow. Talk about abandonment from the womb. This is why I did something entitled the other day, You Didn't Stand a Chance. You didn't stand a chance. The cards were stacked against us. How about around parents, or how about if you were raised in a family that was frequently moving? Do you know that that's trauma? What about our military parents serving our country, not realizing that the frequent moving is actually trauma to a child? I'm so sorry to hear that, Barbara Brown. May the peace of God find you and be with you. How many of you all had parents that moved a lot? Sometimes, not all, but I've seen it with a lot of single moms. They move a lot. They have to move where the rent is cheaper. They have to move closer to a bus line. They have to move closer to the job. They have to move closer with the family, or they keep trying to move back with the family and they're put out and they've got to move again. Moving, trauma. Come on, I see you. How about having illness around you? Illness, frequent hospitalizations. It could be a grandma, a auntie, a mother, or a father. I've had a neighbor come over to me and she began to tell me a story about her granddaughter and how she has reverse anorexia. Have you ever heard of that? Reverse anorexia, where she's eating too healthy. Mm, I've never heard anything like that in my life. She brought it to my attention. She's eating too healthy, that she's not eating enough calories for what she's doing during the day. I was like, if it wasn't such a serious story, I'd volunteer to give her some. She's I believe in soccer and basketball and gymnastics. She goes to the gym and she's not eating enough food to get calories for what she's working out. So she's eating too healthy, and it's called today reverse anorexia. And of course, the grandmother, like all grandmothers, is on high alert. She's freaking out. She's just doesn't know what to do. And she's afraid for her granddaughter because it's very, very dangerous. And we begin to talk, and I tried to talk the Christian route, very, biblical, scriptural, God is this and that. So she turned to me, she said, "Are you a believer?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." And she said, "I think it's a devil that got her." And I was like, "Ooh, mama ain't playing over here. She's a little bit deeper than just what I expected for a Christian believer." And I told her, and I said, "Grandma, don't worry about it." I said, we're gonna evict the demon, and she's gonna live to tell the story. And come to find out, through a long story short, her granddaughter was taking care of her grandmother on the other side of the family. And they thought it was the right thing to do because the grandma's not in an institution. I hope this is for somebody else in here. The grandmother's not in an institution. She's in the house with the family, and the family felt it would be best to have grandma at home. How many know they want to be at home on their last days? They don't want to be living in one of these nursing homes. I don't care how expensive and how high class it is. I don't want strangers taking care of me. I want to be home with my family in my house, right? And she took care of grandma till grandma just went down deeper in dementia, deeper into Alzheimer's, and eventually died. While the child was the caretaker. I think she was 13. The child was the caretaker of grandma. So she took care of someone withering away and died on her. Could you imagine the story she's telling herself? That's trauma. And this therefore led to the idea that she needs to be healthy. She's got to be healthy because she probably has a fear of death now. So she's got to be healthy and she's got to eat healthy. Whereas now she's eating so healthy, it's actually causing the very thing that she's trying to stay away from, dying. It's trauma. Do not have your children take care of sick people. Do not have your children take care of you. It's trauma. How about parental conflicts? Are your children in a household where there's always parental conflicts? Come on, raise your hands. Come on. It's trauma. It's caused trauma to you. It doesn't matter if you like, oh, that's just, I used to think it was normal. Fighting and arguing and physical fighting was normal to me until my second relationship. And the guy was like, "I'm not dealing with you. You're not going to keep putting your hands on me." I was like, "Huh? Something wrong with that?" We always slap and hit and stuff in our family. What's the problem? He's like, "I don't know what's wrong with you, but you're not going to put your hands on me." Mike Rose said he's just going to keep his hand up. That's trauma. Seeing parental conflict, that's your origin. That's your Eden. You don't need to see conflict. It's jacking them up. Stop it in the name of love and stop it in the name of Jesus Christ and the authority. Stop it. Schedule your arguments. You can do it. You don't want to do it because you want to be controlling. But self-regulation will have you say, "Wait till 3 days when these kids leave. And in 3 days, you'll either be ready or over it." Stop it. How about loss? Any type of loss? Academic pressure. Academic pressure. It's trauma. Neglect. of any kind. I've heard from some school teachers the other day, and they were saying that none of the parents in this particular school district, and I'm going to say it, it was in Hartford, but in a particular school district in Hartford, they were sharing that the parents never show up for PTA conferences. Parents are null and void at their children's conference time. And to me, that's neglect. And that should be reported by the teachers to DCF, just like all the other neglect issues are. No roof, no feeding, no baths, no shower, emotional neglect, academic neglect. The parents don't come to the PTAs. And then when a school has a problem with the children and they call the parent says, that's your problem. They're in the school now. You deal with them. That's neglect. And I'm not blaming the parent. I know it's hard. I had my child at 17. God bless him for making it. But it's neglect. We got to get some help. We've got to help one another. The church has got to step up and help. How about financial hardships? How many grew up in financial hardships? And lastly, again, caregiving. Putting caregiving on a child is what's similar to covert incest is. It's putting emotional adult responsibilities on a child. It's trauma. Let's talk about it. Make your appointment, make your session. Let's talk about it. Let's find out if you need a referral to therapy. Let's talk about it. Let's get something started here. It's trauma, people, and we can't get away with it. And the reason why it's trauma is because this was not the original will and intent for your life as God created you. Will and intent is purpose. God purposed you. God willed and intended for you to have a better life. And he left it in his word that he wanted us to have an abundant life. This was not the original will and intent for humanity, and therefore it is showing up as trauma in our lives. And you don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to be embarrassed. There is help for you. I'm done for tonight. I hope I've made my case with you. I've helped you, I believe, tonight to understand these are the things that can interfere with your relationship with God. Trauma can interfere because you have trust issues. It can interfere with your relationships with the people you have relationships with. It can affect your consistency in life. It could cause you to have coping mechanisms where you can be on drugs, alcohol, sex addicts, lotto addicts, lying addicts, shopping addicts. You get it, because you had to develop this to make you feel well through your trauma. Heal the trauma, kill the addiction. Heal the trauma, kill the addiction. Kill the root, the addiction goes away. Kill the root, the fruit dies. Come on, kill the root, the fruit dies. You're going after your addictions, and all you're doing is swapping addictions. It's not the addiction that's the problem. It's the trauma that's the problem. The trauma is the root, the addiction is the fruit. You can get fruit spray and kill the fruit from going on the tree. You don't want it to grow back anymore. So you're spraying the tree with fruit killer. I don't want these leaves to grow back. You can spray root killer and those roots will come back up again. You know why? Because you got to pull the root out of the soil. When you pull the root out of the soil, the seeds can no longer germinate again next fall. They can't germinate next spring and grow again. So many institutions are teaching people how to kill addictions, and the addiction isn't the problem because you will switch addictions. Kill the root, the fruit dies. Heal the trauma, the fruit will no longer grow. I'm done. I am your coach, creator, and founder of Soul Detox, and your host these 29 days. I am signing out until tomorrow. I pray for you. I will pray for you all on tonight. And I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Thank you. God bless you. Good night.